My child, listen carefully. The night feels heavier lately, doesn't it? Your heart has been carrying a silence nobody fully understands. But heaven does. God does. And that is why this message found you today. Not by accident. Not by coincidence. There is something unfolding around your life, your soulmate, and your family that you were meant to hear before it is too late. If this message already touches your spirit, comment, God is protecting this connection. Like this video and subscribe, because what heaven is about to reveal could change everything you thought was lost. My child, stop right now. Do not scroll. This moment has reached you for a reason, and what you feel right now is not random. It is a calling. If your heart truly trusts me, then you will not ignore this moment, because faith is not just words, it is action. And when you take a step in faith, you place your life under my protection, your soulmate under my protection, and your entire family under my divine covering. Listen carefully. What you release today in faith does not leave your life empty. It returns as safety, peace, and protection over everything connected to you. Do not delay this moment. Do not overthink, because those who trust act without hesitation. So your seed now. The QR code is on your screen, and the link is in the description and first pinned comment. Take your step in faith and allow my protection to cover your life. My beloved child, the person your soul still reaches for has not forgotten you. Even now, in quiet rooms filled with midnight thoughts, they still feel your presence. There are nights when they stare at their glowing phone screen, rereading old words they promised themselves they would forget. But they could not forget you, because this connection was never ordinary. Heaven tied your souls together long before your eyes ever met. And lately, spiritual pressure has been surrounding this bond. You felt it, that heaviness in your chest, those sudden waves of emotion at strange hours, the dreams that feel too real to ignore, the memories returning without warning. None of it is random. God is revealing hidden truth. Your soulmate has been fighting battles they never explained. Silent battles, emotional storms, fear, regret, confusion. There were moments they wanted to reach for you again, but something inside them kept trembling. They feared hurting you deeper. They feared rejection. They feared divine timing itself. But heaven never stopped working behind the scenes. While you cried in silence, God was protecting both of your hearts from destruction. While distance grew between you, divine hands were removing people who carried hidden jealousy against this love. There were conversations happening about you that you never heard. Secret opinions, hidden envy, spiritual attacks disguised as concern. But none of those plans could destroy what heaven already approved. My child, listen carefully now. The separation was not punishment. It was preparation. Because if reunion had happened earlier, pain would have destroyed what destiny was trying to build. God had to heal wounds neither of you wanted to admit existed. Your soulmate carried brokenness from old betrayals. You carried exhaustion from loving too deeply without reassurance. So heaven allowed silence, not to end this story, but to save it. And lately, something has shifted. Your soulmate has started feeling your absence differently. What once felt easy to ignore now follows them everywhere. Songs suddenly remind them of your energy. Places feel empty without explanation. They hear your name unexpectedly. Your memory appears during restless nights. Even strangers unknowingly speak words that remind them of you. God is surrounding them with reminders because the truth can no longer stay buried. Stay with this message carefully, because what heaven reveals next explains a pain you could never understand. There were moments your soulmate secretly cried over losing you, moments nobody saw, moments hidden behind forced smiles and distracted conversations. They acted strong publicly, but inside, their spirit felt your distance deeply. Sometimes they reached your profile silently. Sometimes they typed messages they never sent. Sometimes they whispered your name during lonely drives beneath dark skies, because souls connected by God never truly disconnect, even when communication stops, even when pride grows louder, even when fear creates distance. The bond remains alive underneath everything. And tonight, God wants you to stop blaming yourself for everything that happened. My child, you loved genuinely. You prayed sincerely. You waited longer than most people could endure. Heaven saw every tear falling beside silent prayers. Heaven heard every exhausted whisper asking if this love was real. And the answer is yes. This connection is real, spiritually real. That is why darkness fought it so aggressively. That is why confusion entered suddenly. That is why misunderstandings multiplied. The enemy feared what this union could become under God's covering, because together, your souls carry purpose beyond romance. Your connection was meant to bring healing, peace, and generational restoration, and that frightened every negative force assigned against your destiny. But those attacks are weakening now. The lies are collapsing. Hidden manipulation is being exposed. And the person your heart still holds can no longer escape what they truly feel. Late at night, when distractions disappear, your energy reaches them again. They feel your absence in waves. They feel regret more deeply now. They feel the emptiness left behind by separation. And heaven is allowing them to feel it because awakening has begun. Pray instead of fearing. Trust what heaven already promised. My child, there is something else you must understand. Recently, your family has been under spiritual observation, not because God abandoned you, but because your blessing carries weight. When destiny gets closer, spiritual resistance often increases before breakthrough appears. That tension inside your home lately was not imagined. The emotional exhaustion, sudden arguments, strange heaviness, restless sleep, fear arriving without explanation. Heaven wanted you alert, not afraid, because God is actively placing protection around your family right now. Angels are standing guard over doors you cannot see. Dangerous plans are being blocked before reaching you. Someone who secretly wished failure upon your connection is losing influence rapidly. Their power is fading. Their hidden intentions are being uncovered. And your soulmate feels this shift too, even if they cannot explain it logically. Sometimes they suddenly stop and think about you without reason. Sometimes they feel emotional heaviness while staring into darkness. Sometimes their spirit feels pulled toward reconciliation unexpectedly. That is not coincidence. That is divine movement. Do not leave this message now, because heaven is opening a hidden truth your soul has waited to hear. Your soulmate still talks about you indirectly. They hide it carefully, but your name still enters conversations. Your memory still softens their voice. Even people around them have noticed emotional change recently. They are becoming quieter, more reflective, more emotionally restless, because God is removing the numbness that once covered their heart, and soon what stayed hidden will surface openly. There is a message approaching your life, a conversation, a sign, a sudden moment that changes emotional distance completely. But before that breakthrough arrives, heaven needs your spirit steady. Do not let fear sabotage what God is rebuilding. Do not assume silence means abandonment. Some of the deepest divine work happens in silence first. While you sleep, heaven moves. While you wait, God rearranges hearts. While you cry quietly, destinies reconnect invisibly. My beloved child, do not ignore this next moment. Something sacred is happening around your life right now. Many people will scroll away and miss the protection attached to obedience. But you were guided here intentionally. Heaven sees the warfare surrounding your family and your soulmate connection. And your response tonight matters more than you realize. So your seed now, even $10 offered with faith, carries spiritual significance before heaven. Even $20 released in trust becomes an act of divine agreement. The QR code is on your screen, and the link is in the description and first pinned comment. Do not delay this moment. Your breakthrough is connected to obedience. God is placing protection over your home, your future, and the love your soul still carries. Something is shifting already, and heaven is watching who responds in faith. My child, your soulmate has been dreaming about you more often recently. Dreams they cannot fully explain. Dreams where your voice feels close again. Dreams where reconciliation feels real enough to touch. They wake up emotional afterward, carrying your energy throughout the day. Sometimes they try ignoring it. Sometimes they bury themselves in distractions. But your soul continues reaching theirs because divine connection cannot be erased by distance alone. And there is another truth heaven wants you to hear tonight. Someone around your soulmate tried influencing them against this connection. A voice filled with hidden jealousy. A person pretending to protect them while secretly fearing your union. But God exposed that energy slowly. The mask began falling apart, and now your soulmate sees things differently than before. They are recognizing who truly cared and who secretly manipulated emotions for selfish reasons. That realization has been painful, but necessary, because before reunion, discernment had to grow. Your soulmate had to learn who deserved access to their spirit. And so did you, my beloved child. The tears you cried alone were never wasted. Heaven collected every one of them carefully. There were nights you almost gave up completely. Nights when the silence felt unbearable. Nights when you questioned whether your soulmate even cared anymore. But while you were breaking quietly, God was rebuilding something stronger beneath the surface. Your soulmate needed transformation. You needed healing too. And now the season is beginning to change slowly. You can feel it, that strange pull lately, that quiet expectation, that emotional shift inside your spirit. Heaven is preparing movement. If you still feel their soul beside yours tonight, comment 777 below, because this connection is alive, protected, and moving toward divine timing faster than you realize. My child, listen carefully. This is not just a moment. This is a test of your trust. Many people say they believe, but when the moment comes to act, they step back. Do not let that be you. If you truly trust me, you will not ignore what you feel right now, because your faith is connected to your actions. And when you respond in faith, you are not only opening doors for yourself, you are placing your soulmate and your family under my protection. Do not let hesitation block what is ready to move in your life. Take your step now. So your seed in faith. The QR code is on your screen and the link is in the description and first pinned comment. Do not ignore this moment. Trust me and act. My beloved child, something changed the moment you heard these words tonight. Heaven has been trying to reach your spirit for days now, through dreams, through strange emotions, through memories appearing suddenly while you tried focusing on something else. And still, your soulmate remains connected to your spirit more deeply than either of you fully understands. Even now, while this message reaches your heart, there's a heaviness surrounding them. They have been pretending everything feels normal, but it does not. The silence has become louder lately. The distance no longer comforts them, and the emptiness inside their chest keeps returning during quiet nights. Your soulmate has been sitting in dark rooms recently, holding emotions they cannot explain to anyone around them. Sometimes they scroll through old conversations silently. Sometimes they stop on your picture longer than they should. Sometimes they hear your favorite song unexpectedly, and their entire mood changes instantly because your energy still lives inside them. This connection survived every attempt to destroy it, and heaven is making that truth impossible to ignore now. My child, the enemy wanted you to believe the story ended already. That silence meant rejection. That distance meant replacement. That your soulmate stopped caring. But God says the opposite is happening behind closed doors. Your absence has been teaching them your value. Your silence has been awakening emotions they buried deeply. And the more they try distracting themselves, the stronger your spiritual presence becomes around them. They feel it during midnight drives. They feel it while staring out rainy windows. They feel it during restless sleep. There are moments your soulmate suddenly becomes emotional without understanding why. That is because your soul still speaks spiritually, even when words are missing physically. Heaven never disconnected this bond. And lately, spiritual warfare around your connection has intensified because breakthrough is approaching closer than before. The enemy attacks hardest before restoration arrives. That tension you feel lately is not random. Those sudden emotional waves are not weakness. Something is shifting underneath the surface. Someone who once interfered between you is losing influence quickly. Their hidden control is collapsing. Lies spoken against your connection are being exposed slowly. Your soulmate is beginning to recognize manipulation they once ignored. And now guilt has entered their heart heavily, because they finally understand how deeply their silence wounded you. There were nights they almost reached out, nights when their hands hovered over your name, nights when they typed long messages, then erased every word before sunrise. Fear kept stopping them. Pride kept delaying them. But heaven is slowly removing both. Stay here carefully now, because what God reveals next explains why your heart has felt spiritually exhausted lately. My child, your spirit has been carrying emotional warfare not only for yourself, but for this connection too. You have been praying while emotionally drained, smiling while secretly hurting, hoping while fighting disappointment quietly. Heaven saw all of it, and God never ignored your pain. In fact, many dangerous things were blocked from reaching your life recently. Some people smiling near you carried hidden envy against your peace. Some conversations happened behind your back without your knowledge. But divine protection covered you before damage could fully reach your home. This is why God brought you here tonight, not only to speak about love, but to protect what heaven already marked for your future. Your soulmate also feels spiritually tired now. The people around them no longer bring the comfort they once did. Empty distractions are losing power. Superficial connections feel hollow suddenly. And deep inside, they miss the emotional safety they only felt with you. They miss your understanding, your calmness, your prayers, your loyalty. They remember how your soul loved them without pretending. And now those memories follow them everywhere. My beloved child, do not confuse temporary silence with permanent loss. Sometimes heaven allows distance because both hearts need awakening separately first. If reunion happened before healing, old wounds would have destroyed the blessing again. So God slowed everything down intentionally. While you waited painfully, heaven worked privately on both souls. Your soulmate needed to confront hidden fears. You needed to rediscover your worth beyond their validation. And now something sacred is beginning to rise from pain. The emotional walls around your soulmate are weakening. They are becoming softer, more emotional, more aware of what they lost. And there is something else happening secretly. Someone close to them recently mentioned your name unexpectedly. That moment shook them deeply, because your memory still carries emotional weight inside their spirit. They acted calm externally, but internally, their heart reacted immediately. God is arranging signs around them intentionally now. Certain songs, certain words, certain dreams, certain memories. Heaven keeps bringing your energy back into their awareness because reunion timing is slowly approaching. Pray instead of fearing. God is preparing what you cannot yet see. My child, there is protection surrounding your family tonight, even if the atmosphere lately felt heavy, even if fear tried entering your home unexpectedly. Heaven has already moved before danger arrived. Some attacks were blocked without you ever noticing them. Some plans against your peace failed quietly before reaching manifestation. Angels are standing closer than you realize. Your prayers have not been ignored, and your obedience during this season matters greatly. Do not scroll past this next moment carelessly. Something holy is happening right now. Many people hesitate during divine opportunities, then wonder why breakthrough delays continue. But heaven responds to trust expressed through action. So your seed now, even a small seed offered faithfully, can unlock unexpected protection over your soulmate and your family. Even $10 released with trust carries spiritual meaning before God. Even $20 sown during this moment can become a prophetic act of agreement with heaven. The QR code is on your screen. The link is in the description and first pinned comment. Do not miss the spiritual window. Your response tonight matters more than you understand. My beloved child, your soulmate cried recently when nobody was watching. The pain finally reached them fully. They realized distance did not erase love. They realized replacing your energy was impossible. And now regret visits them during silent hours repeatedly. They think about the moments they should have chosen differently, the words they never said, the reassurance they withheld, the fear that pushed them away from something heaven designed beautifully. And lately, dreams have become stronger around this connection. Your soulmate keeps seeing glimpses of reconciliation unexpectedly. Sometimes they wake up feeling your energy beside them physically. Sometimes they hear your voice inside dreams so clearly that reality feels confusing afterward. Because spiritual connection is becoming impossible for them to suppress now. Heaven is awakening their heart completely. Do not walk away now. The next truth God reveals changes everything you believed about their silence. Your soulmate never stopped loving you fully. They stopped knowing how to handle the intensity of this bond. Because what existed between you reached deeper than ordinary emotions. This was not surface attraction. This was soul recognition. And soul recognition frightens wounded people sometimes. Your connection exposed parts of them they tried hiding from the world. It revealed their fears, their insecurities, their need for healing. So instead of surrendering to love completely, they pulled away emotionally. But distance only magnified what they felt. And now heaven is bringing hidden emotions back to the surface stronger than before. Someone around your soulmate recently noticed their emotional shift. They noticed how your name changes their expression instantly. They noticed a sadness appearing whenever love becomes part of conversations. Because no matter how much time passes, your energy still reaches their heart directly. And God says the reunion energy surrounding this connection is growing rapidly now. Slowly, obstacles are moving. Slowly, communication pathways are opening. Slowly, divine timing is aligning situations you cannot yet see. My child, trust the process heaven designed carefully for this love story. Trust the silence even when it hurts. Trust the waiting even when nights feel lonely. Because God never abandoned this connection. In fact, heaven protected it by delaying certain things until both hearts became ready for lasting peace. And now your soulmate is beginning to understand your value differently than ever before. They no longer see you through temporary emotions. They see your soul now. They see your loyalty, your patience, your prayers, your depth, your softness. And something inside them longs to return toward that safety again. If this message feels connected to your spirit deeply, send this to the one your soul still remembers at midnight, because heaven may be speaking to them through this moment too. My beloved child, the story is not over. The silence was not the ending. And the love your heart still carries was never foolish. God is still writing this connection carefully behind the scenes. Your soulmate still feels you. Your prayers still matter. Your family is still protected. and heaven is already moving closer toward breakthrough than you realize. My child, now the choice is yours, and this choice reflects your trust in me. If you truly believe, you will not walk away from this moment, because those who trust do not ignore what I place before them. Understand this clearly. When you act in faith, you invite my protection over your life, your soulmate, and your entire family. You are not losing anything. You are placing everything in my hands. Do not let this moment pass without responding. Sow your seed today. The QR code is on your screen and the link is in the description and first pinned comment. What you give in faith returns as protection, peace, and blessings over your home. Trust this moment, act now, and remain under my divine protection. My beloved child, heaven has been watching your tears for longer than you realize. Those nights when you laid awake staring into darkness were never invisible to God. Every silent prayer, every trembling breath, every moment your heart whispered their names softly into the night. Heaven heard all of it. And tonight, God wants you to understand something clearly. The connection you carry inside your spirit was never random. It was written long before your pain began, long before the separation, long before silence entered your story unexpectedly. Your soulmate still carries your energy deeply inside them. Even now, even after all the distance, even after all the confusion, there are moments lately when they suddenly stop whatever they're doing because your memory enters their mind so strongly. It happens during ordinary moments, while driving alone, while scrolling through their phone late at night, while hearing certain songs unexpectedly. Your spirit keeps reaching them because heaven never disconnected this bond, and your soulmate can no longer run for what their heart truly feels. My child, there is something sacred happening behind the scenes right now. God has been removing hidden obstacles quietly. People who secretly carry jealousy against your happiness are slowly losing influence over your life. Some individuals smiled near you while secretly hoping this connection would fail. But heaven exposed their energy before destruction could fully grow. That heavy atmosphere surrounding your life recently was spiritual warfare. The emotional exhaustion, the sudden anxiety, the strange tension around your home, the restless sleep. None of it was imaginary. But God says those attacks are weakening now. Divine protection is covering your family more strongly than before. Angels have already been assigned around your future, around your soulmate, around the love story heaven still refuses to abandon. And tonight, your spirit needed this confirmation desperately, because lately you almost convinced yourself to stop believing completely. There were moments you wanted to numb your emotions entirely, moments when disappointment whispered that waiting was pointless. But your soul never fully released this connection, because deep inside, God kept reminding you the story was unfinished. Stay here carefully now, because the next truth heaven reveals explains why your soulmate suddenly feels emotionally overwhelmed lately. My beloved child, your soulmate has started recognizing your absence as a spiritual loss, not just emotional distance. That realization changed everything inside them. At first, they tried distracting themselves. They surrounded themselves with noise, conversations, work, social gatherings, temporary attention from other people, but nothing brought peace. Nothing replaced the calmness your soul gave them naturally. And now the emptiness has become impossible for them to ignore. Recently, they sat alone remembering specific moments with you unexpectedly. Small details returned clearly. The way you comforted them, the way your voice softened their anxiety, the way your presence made chaos feel quieter. Those memories broke through the emotional walls they spent months building. And now regret has started speaking louder inside them than pride. There are nights your soulmate quietly checks your profile again. Nights when they wonder if you still think about them too. Nights when they almost reach out before fear interrupts them. But heaven says the fear controlling them is losing power rapidly, because divine timing is approaching a turning point now. Something hidden is about to surface. A conversation, a confession, a moment neither of you fully expects. And the energy around this reunion has already started moving spiritually before it appears physically. Pray instead of fearing. Trust what heaven already promised. My child, you've been carrying more spiritual weight than most people understand. While others saw your smile, heaven saw your exhaustion. You kept loving quietly while feeling emotionally abandoned. You kept praying while fighting disappointment silently. But God says your endurance was not wasted. In fact, your faith protected this connection more times than you realize. Some situations could have destroyed everything permanently. Some decisions almost pulled your soulmate into the wrong direction completely. But your prayers reached heaven before destruction could fully manifest. And now your soulmate is beginning to awaken emotionally in ways they cannot control anymore. The signs are increasing. They feel your energy unexpectedly during quiet moments. They dream about reconciliation more often. They notice your name repeatedly. Even random conversations seem to point them back toward you somehow. Heaven keeps placing reminders around them intentionally because breakthrough is closer than before. Do not scroll away now. Something holy is being revealed around your connection tonight. My beloved child, there is another truth you need to hear carefully. Your soulmate has secretly been afraid you moved on completely. That fear has haunted them deeply lately. They wonder if they waited too long. They wonder if their silence destroyed everything permanently. They wonder if another person now holds a place they once carried inside your heart. And this fear has created emotional urgency inside them recently. Because for the first time, they are realizing what life truly feels like without your spiritual presence beside them consistently. Heaven allowed this awakening intentionally. Sometimes people only recognize sacred love after distance forces reflection. And your soulmate is finally reflecting honestly now. The walls around their heart are cracking slowly. Their emotions are becoming impossible to suppress. Even those close to them have started noticing changes in their behavior. They seem quieter lately, more emotional, more distracted, because internally, your energy keeps returning stronger each day. My child, this next moment matters spiritually. Do not ignore it carelessly. Heaven brought you here because protection is being released over your family right now. Some storms were meant to break your peace completely. But God intervened before they reach your home fully, and your obedience during this season is connected to future blessings you cannot yet imagine. So your seed now, even a small act of faith can release divine covering over your soulmate connection and your entire household. Even $10 offered sincerely becomes an act of spiritual agreement with heaven. Even $20 released in obedience can become the beginning of unexpected breakthrough. The QR code is on your screen. The link is in the description and first pinned comment. Do not let hesitation block this moment. Heaven responds to trust expressed through action. My beloved child, your soulmate recently heard something that reminded them of you so deeply it shook their emotions instantly. They tried hiding the reaction. But internally, everything shifted, because no matter how much time passes, your soul still lives inside their heart. They compare others to you secretly. They search for your energy in different places unsuccessfully, because what heaven created between you cannot be copied artificially. And lately, your soulmate has started admitting truths to themselves they denied for a long time. They miss you deeply. Not temporarily, not casually, spiritually, emotionally, completely. There are moments they whisper prayers quietly now, asking God for clarity, asking heaven if restoration is still possible, asking whether you still carry love for them too. And heaven hears those prayers. God is already moving circumstances behind the scenes carefully. Timing is aligning. Emotional barriers are weakening. Unexpected communication paths are opening silently. And while you cannot yet see the full picture physically, spiritual movement has already begun. My child, the pain you experienced was never proof that God abandoned your love story. Sometimes divine connections travel through painful seasons before reaching peaceful destinations. The separation forced healing neither of you would have chosen willingly. It exposed hidden fears, hidden wounds, hidden insecurities. But now both souls are changing slowly. Your soulmate is becoming emotionally honest, and you are becoming spiritually stronger. This is why reunion energy feels different now than before. It carries maturity, clarity, healing, and divine protection. Stay with this message until the end, because heaven did not bring you here accidentally tonight. Your breakthrough already started before you recognized it. The heaviness around your spirit is lifting gradually. The confusion surrounding your connection is clearing slowly. And God is restoring hope inside your heart again for a reason, because this story still has chapters left unwritten. Your soulmate still feels your soul reaching theirs. The bond survived silence. It survived distance. It survived interference. It survived spiritual attacks designed to separate you permanently. And now heaven is preparing restoration carefully. My beloved child, one message could change everything suddenly. One conversation could reopen doors you thought were permanently closed. One unexpected moment could shift this entire connection toward healing again. So do not surrender to fear now. Do not let temporary silence convince you the promise disappeared. Heaven is still moving. God is still protecting this love. And your soulmate is still emotionally tied to you more deeply than they admit openly. Send this message to someone whose heart still carries a connection heaven never allowed them to forget. Because many souls are fighting silent battles tonight, and God is still speaking through moments like this. My child, peace is returning slowly. Protection is surrounding your family. Healing is entering your soulmate's heart. And divine timing is already bringing your paths closer again. The waiting had meaning. The silence carried lessons. The pain produced transformation. But the connection survived everything. You are still connected. Heaven already moved first. Your love story is not over. God is still writing this connection beautifully behind the scenes. And what is meant for you will never be destroyed by temporary distance. Type Amen